Give and give again. Part two, in a full effect. You guys know I like to part two, like to amend, add to. What's the effects of giving? Well, let's take a look at nature. Because, nature is one of my best friends. If you see what an acorn does, an acorn and baby seed for a tree, right? It's ready to provide life. Provide life to all that it can. But it needs help. So it finds a friend. Somebody called a squirrel. Squirrel comes just doing what it wants to do because it was born to do what squirrels do. Run around, screwing nuts. This nail comes up on this acorn and takes the crown off. Then he goes over here into this plot of ground, just digs a hole. I think it's carrying it in his mouth or his cheeks or his bones. So he was carrying it somehow. Not like a kangaroo. Y'all know squirrels, right? So he goes ahead and puts this in the ground, and with all the help that there is, heat from the sun, water from the rain, like everybody's helping with this. He was able to use the soil to just start growing in it. So out comes the shoot, and here comes 25 years later is a whole mature tree. Now this tree about 25 years mature, you feel me? And this tree right now is just raining acorns. See, the aspect of giving is in the primary nature of the individual. The individual gives into the way in which he is. He gives into the way in which he is outwards into life. Because we give from within. The same way the tree, y'all know, you see what I'm saying? So it's a very interesting pattern to recognize, because you should be able to see the seed that you are as well and bring yourself into fruition as well. You don't have to do it because it's done, but you also have to be in alignment with the doing of the becoming of that, or else you're going to be an encounter. So, you can't have an acorn and say, oh yeah, I'm an acorn, but I belong over here in this, I don't know, let's say potting soil, or, let's say I'm looking at this snake plant right here, you can't be in a gallon soil. You're a whole acorn for the whole world, okay? So that's kind of like how that looks like, because then you can't be all of yourself, because the environment is not fit for you. So you got to make sure that your environment is fit for you by making sure that your environment reflects you. That's what it is. So, man, I just wanted to tap in with it part two on the giving. And when we start to see the other effects of the giving, we see that more giving is done because of it. Let's go back to the acorn tree. What's it called? An oak tree? Y'all like the details? There goes the oak tree. And what's the oak tree providing? Well, let's just define it. Because if we look at all the things it's doing a lot of giving. Giving shade. Anybody sits under the tree, maybe a deer walks by for a couple minutes. Maybe a deer catches some shade. Shade for whoever. Maybe the ant that's struggling right here catching some shade because the sun just moved. However, somebody's catching shade. That's one. Two, we got space. See, trees are perfect for plants because some plants need that shade. So let's skip the shade. Now we got the space and we got the birds. We got the insects. All of us chilling up in here, all up in this tree. That's a lot. Now, if we were to look at any other kind of tree, this type of giving will multiply, because what the tree produces is the ability to reproduce itself. See, take very close details here, because someone making sure that others can do what it's able to do is called inheritance. Huh? Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. I don't know who taught us, but I'm going to school us today. Thank you. Shit, I don't know who taught me neither, because I don't have a favorite teacher. I can't remember one from high school, but if you give me some names, maybe one day. But until then, the name is I Am, and we're going to listen good to God within. Okay? Yes, indeed. And that's inheritance, because God's word is already for you. So for you to deny the voice of guidance within your own self is called self-neglect. Some people try to make that look pretty and say people pleasing. Yes, but you're also disrespecting God within yourself. So, that there's always a counter to what needs to be done and not doing, and there's always a counter in the doing of what doesn't need to be done. Man. So, the tree provides inheritance to all that come after it, period. And as a people, we are recuperating our knowledge of inheritance, because there have been attempts to truly hide our existence from ever being on this earth. Truly. And it seems like it's just a Hollywood effect at this point, because they try countless ways to just, man, the eternal lives on, eternally creating its own self forever. Peace and countless blessings. I want to stay with this acorns, though, because there's something else. Feel something else. So talk to me about this one, Spirit. What was the one thing else that I wanted to share about the acorn? Well, we kind of said it already, y'all. It was really about the squirrels and how the squirrels are consciously doing what they feel is right and don't know the effect of what that effect is going to take. It's like, man, you really got to give yourself the time to observe nature. But I understand, sometimes when we are clocked on the dollar alone, we find time to be short of hand. But I would like for y'all to be invited to the clock of God, where you can have experiences of resources coming with ease, grace, and abundant ways every day, now and forevermore. And so it is. And that you can afford yourself the time to do anything you feel like and get all your shit done. I'm just creating the best system for y'all folks, because clock on God. That's the best thing I can tell you, because you can't download some of these systems if y'all feel like, if y'all feel like the wrong things are the right. Like, y'all look for aesthetic over value in a just basic way of words. They do represent themselves, but at the same time, one is misleading and the other is not. For example, I'm gonna give y'all this before this video is ending, okay? What's the value of a car? Like, the value of a car is its ability and truth. It's not a soul. You feel me? This has endless, infinite value. It's not a person, soul, infinite value. It's an intangible thing. But what's its value? It has a pretty good value. It helps us move around. So it has a particular value, right? So let's say you put some numbers on it. Well, let's say, the generic cars are $30,000. Boom, that's the number 30, okay? So in our true interest of building a better world, where does the appeal for 500 for a car come in? The shit's taking me from the same one to the number 2. The shit's gonna make sure that all of us get there safely and let's go. The shit's gonna make sure all of us have space. That's enough. So what's the 430, or what's the numbers? Well, I say 30? Yeah, what's the 470 addition for? That's that appearance. But it doesn't change the primary value in which it represents. Now, of course, everybody likes to live in the dynamic of what fits them. So if that's going to be best fitting, that's best fitting. And I accept that. But when we look at it as a societal perspective of how to judge other people, or how to look at who's valuable, what's valuable, then we lose conception. We lose conception of God's thought, because now we're trying to find value in thing that's lifeless. You understand? So that's where I start to talk about this shit, because I'm like, nah. Because everybody should have a car. I feel like that. But then if y'all want to listen to me, y'all are going to be driving the same car with different features, because what else is there, really? Now, let's look at the car. 4 wheels, 4-on-4. Every car got 4 wheels. I ain't seen the change yet. Steering wheel, circle, okay. Circle, circle, okay. So if you overstand the appearance, then you can find true value. Because if you don't, and you only measure them based on one or the other, you might lose the value altogether, because you don't know that that appearance is temporary. It basically comes down to wisdom and beauty, because beauty tarnishes in a way, but true beauty stays forever. It just changes the way it represents itself. You know what I'm saying? But then wisdom is something that is life applicable. It doesn't lose a value. It is value itself, you know? So it's like, I'm not telling anybody to choose anything, because I'm a both type of person. But what I am saying is, be aware of what you are choosing when you do choose, when you're not choosing both. Because we might be walking away with just representation. Because a lot of times when you see representation, I got a lot of stuff. Inside I ain't feel like shit. Need a therapist. Inside I ain't feel like shit. Need to see a psychologist. Inside I feel like shit. I want to watch somebody else who got some soul. So that's what I'm talking about. It's about substance. When I say value, it's really about substance. And substance, if y'all want to break that down, is really sub means under. So if you want a submarine, under marine, underwater. Substance, stance represents standing or stature or foundation. So what is the substance in this? The understanding in this. This understanding in this, this right here. The understanding here is God, because there's only one. And we're going to be reminding ourselves. So that's that. And then 2, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, there I am. And here we are. So that's the substance of this. This is the foundation of this. This is the reason why I'm doing this. Is because I give a fuck enough. Actually, I give a fuck only. Because I care. I gave one care. And my care is for God. So I care about our one self. So that's how it goes. But the substance is very important, because without substance, there ain't shit there. Straight up. Like, talk to me, folks. Without substance, there ain't shit there. Now, it's a lot to look at that's there, but it ain't really shit. The wind will blow that shit gone. You feel what I'm saying? So, that's what I mean when I say choose in that way, when you're not choosing both. When I say you choose both, you just go for substance alone. And the beauty itself shows. Peace and countless blessings.